So a little while ago, Balsam Hill contacted me asking if I'd be interested in reviewing one of their artificial Christmas trees. Of course, I said yes because I've heard about the Balsam Hill brand over the years, people talking about how good of quality their trees are and how realistic their trees are. So I jumped on the opportunity and said yes because I thought this would be a great way to see one of their trees up close and in person and look at the quality of the tree for myself and also share what the tree is like with all of you. So the other thing they wanted me to do was to compare one of their artificial trees to a real tree. And so they sent me a check to go out and pick out my own tree. They asked me what type of tree that I would like to get, and I said Fraser Fir. Part of the reason why I like Fraser Firs is not only the look, but the softness of the needles, because other types of trees can be very, very pokey to work with. And so I thought that this was a beautiful type of tree and am very excited to see what the artificial version of the Fraser Fir from Balsam Hill looks like. As a thank you from Balsam Hill for agreeing to do this review video, I also received some boxes of ornaments, a tree topper, and a tree skirt. And even though this video isn't about reviewing these, I just thought I would kind of show you some of the items that they sent. Very quickly, I got this neat tree topper. This is actually a great idea just to have the post, because then you can use the zip ties that they send with the tree topper to attach it to the main stem and have a very sturdy tree topper. And here's the folded up tree skirt that they sent me. It has kind of a beaded detail on it, and honestly, it's just gorgeous. I wasn't expecting to get something like this, so that was a really nice surprise. And then the ornaments that they sent me to save on video time. I'm not going to take them all out of the box, but you can kind of see they're just very, very, very nice. And here's just a quick peek at the other ornaments that they sent me as well as a thank you for doing this video. Seems weird to say thank you for a thank you, but honestly, thank you to Balsam Hill for sending these. So, with all that said, I'm going to open the box. So this is what it looks like when I first opened the box. I removed a piece of cardboard that was protecting the top of this. The tree comes with a nice storage bag, so that's actually kind of fun. Okay, and I'm just saying already, look at the branches. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have each section bubble wrapped, which actually is kind of nice so that they don't kind of catch on each other when you're taking them out of the box. Okay, so there's also this bag. So this bag also has the setup instructions, the stand, of course, these for the stand as well. Okay, that's kind of nice. Some replacement bulbs and fuses. Some extra little tools and some gloves. That's actually kind of nice. I've not really ever thought of wearing gloves to put up a tree, but honestly, this would have been really, really nice to think of before, because so many times when I'm setting up artificial trees, my hands get all poked up, but this is a really nice idea to include gloves, so I will definitely use those. I'm terrible when it comes to looking at instructions, but I might as well just check them out. Yeah, fairly simple to set this up, it looks like. So the first thing I'm going to do is just set up the stand. Just get these started. So I have the stand ready to add the first section. Okay, this is really nice. There's a nice long cord on this because I was thinking I'm going to need an extension cord, but actually I don't think that I will. So have to have a bubble wrap popping party later. So I'm going to set the first section in. And as you see, the branches just kind of fall down in place. So this isn't one of those types of trees where you have to put each individual branch on, which is nice. And actually this one has lights in it too. That will save some work later. I think actually before I add the next section, I will start fluffing the branches. There seems to be a nice amount of branches, so I'm fairly confident that this is going to be a decently full looking tree, which is always nice. So I thought I'd bring the camera in just a little bit closer to show you how easy these are to fluff. Towards the ends of these, they actually turn into 3 branches, so that will also help give the tree a really full look. One thing to note about these branches that is actually kind of cool, when you look at a real Fraser Fir tree, you'll notice that the coloring on top is different than the coloring underneath, and they've mimicked that with this artificial tree, so that's actually kind of really cool. So the next thing I'm going to do is plug in the first section. This actually has kind of a neat little push button to rest on the floor so you can turn the lights on and off. Okay, so I'm going to add the next section. So they have a little cap on the ends, so I'm going to remove that. And I've already lifted the little cap that's on the first section. And then remove the bubble wrap. And lift it and set it on top of the center post. And honestly, that is such an easy way for the lights to be. I've had so many artificial trees where you have to hunt for the cord ends to plug together, so that is actually really nice. And start fluffing the second segment. It's time to add the third and final section of this tree. So I remove the cap, and I'm going to remove the cap on here. Very cool. Okay, so we have both trees standing side by side. Our artificial Fraser Fir Balsam Hill tree and a real Fraser Fir. So one thing you'll notice probably right off the bat is that the Balsam Hill tree has more of a shapely look to it. The real tree is fairly nice shaped. The Balsam Hill tree is quite a bit more full, as you can see, than this real Fraser Fir. I honestly tried my best to pick out a really good Fraser Fir tree. It was like 25 degrees outside, and we looked through probably a good 40-50 trees, digging through them all to try to find one that looked the best. And picking out a nice real tree is, in my opinion, such a challenge because half of them are missing like fullness in this general portion. And so I picked out one that I thought like looked the absolute best, but of course they're kind of all, you know, crammed like sardines into the section, so you really don't know what they're going to look like until you set them up in the stand. And so just judging off the top and how full I thought it looked, I chose this one. In a minute I'll show you up close what these branches look like, because the center stems also are a little bit darker, giving it a lot more realistic look. So I thought I'd give you a close-up of the branches just so you can kind of see what they look like. So the needle shape is very, very similar to the real Fraser Fir, which is really neat. And then you'll notice the underside of the branches are kind of this lighter color, which also really, really matches the style of the real Fraser Fir. You'll notice that the center part of the stem also has kind of a darker coloring, which adds to the realistic look. And the texture of the needles is very, very similar to the real tree. So here's a close-up look at the top of the artificial Fraser Fir. And right next door we have the top of the real Fraser Fir. The real Fraser Fir is a little less full and the branches are quite a bit longer, whereas the artificial Fraser Fir is a little bit more shapely. So if you're on the hunt for an artificial tree, I most definitely recommend Balsam Hill. The setup of the tree was incredibly easy, and I'm extremely happy with how realistic the branches are. I honestly cannot wait to start decorating it. So thanks again to Balsam Hill for sending me this beautiful tree and the ornaments and accessories and having me do this fun review. And if a Balsam Hill tree has been on your wish list, I hope you found this review helpful. Thanks for watching.